let's get this mini walkthrough started. Welcome to level 1, Traverse Town. Now, Traverse Town is the first stage, so don't expect anything too complicated. You won't have many slights, and there'll be just a small amount of keys available. It's not a bad time to harvest a few room cards, and if you can, a few kingdom key cards. You want those 0 cards if you can get them. They are very valuable for blocking enemy slights, I do believe, because they cost the least DP among any 0 card. But basically, just keep it simple. It's pretty easy. You're going to be button mashing your way through combat. Anyways, after you use the Traverse Town card that you'll get from the intro scene, you'll be treated to a quick tutorial after another text scene. Take your notes here, learn how the moves work and everything. This is a good time to sit down and read the text. The battle system is not exactly really complicated, but there's a lot of rules, and if you don't learn them here, you're screwed. I'm creating this guide to help people because a lot of times they don't catch on to the battle system here because the tutorial's kind of sloppy to begin with, and there's no way to access it later on when things start to get more complicated. So take your notes here. This guy will teach you the basics, moving around, how to attack using the key cards. After that is over, you'll enter another introductory room where you'll gain a card and then have to fight a few Heartless before going into a save room. Anyways, after the save room, you'll be forced to make a Tranquil Darkness room. This room is just regular Heartless. I did a video running down all the rooms, so again, grab a few cards and then go into the door with a crown by using the regular key card, and you'll have another tutorial, this time with Leon. Leon here will do a tutorial on how to stock cards, which you will need to do in order to perform sleights and special moves. It's unfortunate that Leon doesn't go into any of these sleights, but I should have created a video previously published going into this in this guide. I will also point out important sleights that you will learn and pick up and where to do them on future videos. Right now, just do what he asks to stock cards and learn about breaking cards as well. So there's nothing too important here, but take notes anyways. After Leon's tutorial, you should get a Simba card. Place them in your deck. Keep your deck organized. See how I put Simba right down below all my keys next to my magic cards? That is important. I'm trying to keep them organized. An organized deck is the key to victory in Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. An unorganized deck, regardless of how powerful the cards you put in and how powerful sleights might come from that deck, will get you killed pretty fast. Keep your deck organized as much as possible. Anyways, the rest of the stage is pretty easy. Go up one room, go to the door with the crown, use your special key card to get in and watch another cutscene. Go up another room and then enter the room with the crown to enter the boss battle. To harvest a lot of room cards, though, it's not a bad idea to use Teeming Darkness here. You'll get a huge room filled with Heartless. There's like over 20 Heartless, I do believe, in each Teeming Darkness room, so it's a good place to collect enemy cards and room cards. Not to mention, it's a big area wide open for things for you to hit to collect cards to use in your deck. I like these room cards. Don't use them too often because it'll really drag out your game, but use them once or twice per world to keep Sora leveled up and your room deck full as well as your key cards full. So they're good cards to have around. Here's that walking armor, again, back with his PS2 color scheme. So if you're going from the Final Mix version, he'll look a little different, but his attacks are the same. He uses his limbs to pummel. They can come off. He's not too hard to fight. Remember, you don't have many cards, so you won't have many options, and the game won't expect you to. Basically, button mash is a good idea for the most part. If you see him playing a low-level card, break it and button mash. Simba is also useful here, as is your magic card. Heal when necessary, and then recuperate your cards when you can. It's not a real hard boss fight. I should tell you what the hidden Mickey cards that you'll find. I picked one up right now. Will do. If you use it, he'll stun your opponent for a while. You should also use Wild Crush if you get Donald and Goofy in your deck. See, I just used a 0 card right there. He'll fall into pieces. Now I'll show you what Wild Crush can do if you do it properly. Wild Crush may be a silly looking attack, but it does a decent damage to enemies if you can get them against the wall and combo them, or just run and smack them like I did. It won't necessarily be killer, but it will do damage, and since I had a 0 card, I just used it to finish off the bad guy anyways. Your reward for completing this battle will be the Walking Armor boss card. It allows you to attack further, basically. I don't bother putting it in my deck personally, but if it sounds good to you and you want to use your deck points to putting that card in your deck, more power to you. I'm not telling you how to build your deck, I'm just giving suggestions and telling you how I build my deck. Anyways, after you finish the boss, there will be a save room. Save there and exit. It'll wind up in a boss battle against an Organization 13 member named Axel. Axel, like his name suggests, is a fire user. If you have a blizzard card or two in your deck, it will help. But for the most part, you're going to be relying on Keyblade cards, because that's all you're going to have. He's not too hard. Basically, just break his slights when you can. The big one you'll have to watch out for is called Firewall. Either break it with a high number slight when you see it coming, or just use a 0 card to break. And here I managed to land in a combo slight on top of it for a little more damage. Of course, if you can, use those Goofy and Donald cards to your best of your ability and perform Wild Crush. That will do damage if you can catch them with it. That's the key here. You gotta catch them though. Teleports like crazy, but if you can get them in a corner, it does do decent damage. Anyways, for beating Axel, you will get the Fire card, which you can now start adding to your deck. Also, in a cutscene afterwards, Axel will reward you a whole bunch of world cards to use in the levels above. Anyways, your first cards will include Agrabah, Halloween Town, Monstro, Wonderland, and Olympus Coliseum. Here are some of the characteristics of these next few worlds. First, they're small and easy to remember stages. You won't have very complicated room layout. They're all easily connected. You don't have to go around because the main suddenly blocks you off. You should be able to get these done in like half an hour unless you really grind like I do. Number 2, you will only get one slight move using Calm Bounty per stage. After that, it's just a regular card. Don't blow Calm Bounties on these stages. 3, most of them do not have an extra Disney friend card to collect in battle. With the exception of Aladdin and Jack Skellington, none of these other floors will have you teaming up with the Disney character in combat, so don't expect them. 4, there are no room to rewards cards. These are these gold cards that you'll be able to collect in later stages. You will need to use them in order to open up special doors to collect special rewards. You will encounter the doors to these rooms as you progress through these stages, but you will not be able to open them up. In order to open these up, you're going to have to backtrack later, and I'll explain what you'll get in Traverse Town after I'm done with this explanation. 5, the room cards are not as varied, with some of the harder rooms not being available to you. Basically, rooms like Almighty Darkness or Looming Darkness and a few others aren't going to appear from the Heartless here. Not necessarily a bad thing. It's a great way to ease your way into the game. Later stages will have these harder rooms. Also, with the exception of the very last card you will use, which will get you into a battle with a character named Larxene, none of the hallways in these stages have any boss battles you'll have to worry about post-room. It'll make things easier. Like I said, after you use that last card, though, you will get into a boss battle, so you can collect more cards to enter more stages. But we won't worry about that until several more floors. If you return to Traverse Town with a Room to Rewards card, you will enter a room and get the Lionheart Keyblade from that chest. You'll see me pick it up in a moment. Anyways, I don't really put this Keyblade card in my deck. I think it has a fire element, which means, hey, fire monsters get a boost from hitting them with it. So I don't really put it in my deck. I should also mention that after your first time through the game, if you beat Riku's mode, there should be extra chests in these rooms, but for some reason they're not appearing in mine despite having beaten Reverse Rebirth before. I don't know if it's because I've beaten it on easy, don't know if it's because Riku was on a different difficulty than me. I know I've picked up these chests several times before in the PS2 version after I've beaten it the first time. This is my first time going through it again on the high definition version. It's kind of a shame these aren't appearing because I heard they changed a few of the cards around, but I can't be certain of that. Well, that's all for this chapter of Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. My next video will include Floor 2. Until then, click subscribe or click next to get to the next video. Thank you.